Hi guys, and welcome to Activhealth's 2-minute tips for getting the most out of your gym kit. Acknowledging the fact that gym inductions or kit inductions are seldom undertaken today, generally because they can be quite long, quite boring and sometimes expensive, I've put together a little 3-point plan to help you navigate your way around the equipment while you're with us here at Activhealth. Point number 1 is to check for any information. This will give you a brief overview of how to use the equipment and also indicate the name, in this instance shoulder press. Point number 2 is check the location of the pin. It's common sense to say that the further down the stack you go, the heavier it gets, but it's also worth reminding that it's always a good idea to start lighter rather than heavier, just to minimise the risk of injury when you first get started. Point number 3 is to check for any adjustments. Now on this particular piece of equipment, we've got one at the base of the seat and one at the back of the seat. In terms of using it, the key thing when we first get in is to make sure that the height of the seat is in a position to allow your shoulders to sit level with the handles. Once in position, take a nice deep breath inwards and we breathe out as we press up. In as we recover, out as we press up. Making sure at the top of the movement we don't lock the elbows, we keep them slightly soft. It's about 2 seconds as you go up, 4 seconds as you go slower as you lower the weight on the way down, keeping the elbows nice and soft at the top of the movement rather than locked. Now there is the option of using the mid grip and the back grip on this particular piece of equipment, but for today we're going to stick with the front one. That's the shoulder press done and dusted.